Hi, good morning dear children. I hope you all are fine. Okay, so can you remember what we discussed in last class? Yes, means all the debates and the discussions and the debates relating merits of democracy. Through the conversation we understood whether it is good or not. Some of the opinion it is democracy is a very good form of government. Some others opinion, the students opinion, they are saying it is not a good, not good, there are some drawbacks also. So we can accept both these. We know that there will be different opinion for a same matter or a same thing. So today we can discuss arguments against democracy. Arguments against democracy. You know that few people they are ready to accept democracy, but there are some drawbacks are there. So some of them are pointing out the drawbacks. So one group accepting, one group it is rejecting. So whatever maybe we have to discuss why few are accepting it, why it is saying that a good form of government, another one part why it is it has some drawback. What are the drawbacks of democracy? Gunangalum doshangalumana we are discussing. Okay, first we can discuss arguments against democracy. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഡെമോക്രസിയെ ചിലർ എതിർക്കുന്നത്? What are the drawbacks? While we are discussing, you will understand it clearly. Okay, dear children. So we can discuss more widely one by one characteristics. So you will understand it clearly. Arguments against democracy. Democracyക്ക് എതിരെയുള്ള അഭിപ്രായങ്ങൾ. Okay, വാദങ്ങൾ. So first one we can discuss about, we can tell that leaders keep changing in a democracy. Leaders keep changing in a democracy. This leads to instability. Leaders keep changing. Leaders keep changing, it leads to instability. നേതാക്കന്മാർ rulers or leaders മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. It will leads or it leads instability, ഒരു അസ്ഥിരത ഫീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നു. You know that each and every election, after 5 years commonly conducting election, and each and every election sometimes the party is changing or the rulers or the government is changing, leaders are changing. So after up to 5 years there will be one leader and we are more familiar with his policies, his laws, his attitudes, everything. Next 5 years another one leader is keeping or running that position or keeping that position or handling that position or charge. So there will be an instability, asthirada, there is no continuation. Leaders are keep changing. That is one of the first argument against democracy. What is that? Leaders keep changing in a democracy. This leads to instability. Okay. Once he was or handling for agricultural department. After 5 years everything it was okay and all it is going on smoothly and all the farmers are on a track with their they fulfilled all their needs, they are satisfied and everything, and one different modes or methods of agricultural activities and system it is introduced. Then again another one lead after one election, another government is a majority government and they changed the leader in the case of agricultural department. So what it will happen? Second person's policies and his attitudes, his techniques and ideas, ideologies, everything it is different. That is why it is saying that democracy or leaders keep changing in democracy and it leads to instability. Then second one, democracy is all about political competition. Democracy, political competition will be there. Political competition. What do you mean by from this second topic, second argument? That is, democracy is all about political competition and power play. രാഷ്ട്രീയ കളികളാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. Political competition, രാഷ്ട്രീയ കിടമത്സരങ്ങൾ. So what will happen? There is no scope of a morality. മൂല്യങ്ങൾ കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കാൻ മറന്നു പോകുന്നു എന്നാണ് second arguments against democracy. That means all about political competition. All are competing each other. So because of this competition and also because of this power play, രാഷ്ട്രീയ കിടമത്സരങ്ങളും കയ്യാങ്കളി കിടമത്സരങ്ങൾ അധികാര ദുർവിനിയോഗം, this all it is happening in a democracy. That is the second argument. So there is no scope for morality. We can agree or not, whatever may be. Okay, that is the second argument. So morality cannot keep in a proper way because of this political competition. മത്സരങ്ങൾ നിലനിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരാളൊരുത്തനെ തോൽപ്പിക്കണം, അധികാരം വിനിയോഗിക്കണം എന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കുമ്പോൾ I think sometimes may or may not be scope of morality is not there. Am I right? But some field, some areas we can see this in a very good. That means always most of the leaders, they are keeping their morality and doing the very sincerely their all activities. Okay, that also we can see. So here argument, it is a democracy is all about power play, political competition and power play. Then what is the third one? Third argument against democracy. So many people have to consult. So many people have to consult. Consulted in a democracy, that leads to delay. You know, there are the decisions or laws or policies, it is taken not only by one person, it is bounded by all the debates, discussions and officials and institutions. So single person cannot be take all the decisions. So what will happen? We have to consult once we met or approach one person to fulfill our needs. Sometimes we have to wait for that to fulfill our needs or to get that to fulfill our necessary things. So we have to consult another one person. There also sometimes it is absence of the persons or maybe because of any other technical problems or any other problems. We have to wait, we have to consult one more persons, you know. So once we approach a person, he may or we have to approach another one area or institution or officer or officials. So it will take time. That is why it is saying that so many people have to be consulted in a democracy. That leads to delay. താമസം വരുന്നു, നമ്മുടെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നടപ്പാകാൻ താമസം ഉണ്ടാകുന്നു. Now you understood the third point. Am I right, children? Yes. So what is the fourth arguments against the democracy? What is the fourth arguments of democracy? Elected leaders do not know the first or a best interest of the people. Elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. You know, universal adult franchise is there. We all people have the right to cast our vote according to our wish, according to our party decision or according to our party interest, not decision, party interest. We are supporting some parties always. Okay, sometimes we are changing our party to one party to another one party, whatever it may be, that is our own wish. So elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. what is the best interest and what are the needs of the common people that sometimes the leaders don't know about it. ആളുകളുടെ ക്ഷേമം അവരുടെ ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ ചിലപ്പോഴൊക്കെ കാണാതെ അറിയാതെ പോകുന്നു. Now you got it. Okay, so it leads to bad decisions. So there will be taking bad decisions. Elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. നല്ല ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ താല്പര്യങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ ക്ഷേമം ചിലപ്പോൾ അറിയാതെ പോകുന്നു. Okay, so it will leads to bad decision. So my dear children, what are the things we discussed? One more time I will tell you. Leaders' arguments against democracy. Leaders keep changing in a democracy. It leads to instability. What is the second one? Democracy is all about political competition and power play. There is no scope of morality. Got it? And the third one, so many people have to consulted in a democracy. So many people have to consulted. നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് ആളുകളെ കാണേണ്ടതായി വരും ഒരു കാര്യം സാധിക്കാൻ. So it leads to delay. Got it? Next, fourth one, elected leaders don't know the best interest of the people. It will take or it will leads to bad decision. Got it? They are taking the decision, sometimes they may forgot the best interest of the people. Got it? Yes. So my dear children, next fifth argument against the democracy is democracy leads to corruption. It is based on electoral competition. You know, always in a democracy there is a electoral competition is there. It should be free and fair. It should be in a without any discriminations. Do not use any malpractices. A healthy competition is needed. So my dear children, here what it is saying, democracy leads to corruption. Democracy അഴിമതിക്ക് കാരണമാകുന്നു എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. It is based on electoral competition. മത്സരമാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. So who is the best? How can a person can perform in a democracy? So while the competition is tightening, you know that if it is saying that democracy leads to corruption. Okay, now you understood the fifth point, democracy leads to corruption. Okay, and next sixth argument against the democracy is ordinary people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. My dear children, ordinary people, you know that in India educated people and less educated people are there, white collar job seekers are there, and degree holders are more in India. Unemployment problem also in India. Whatever maybe, we have to understand one thing, ordinary people, less educated people, common people, they don't know, avarku ariyilla what is good for them. What are the laws are introduced, what are the laws or what are the policies and laws introduced for the common people, what are the benefits, how can they approach to get all the benefits according to them or for them, for their education, health and other PDS system. See, these all the common people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. They don't know about what it is happening around the country, what are the new policies or laws it is introduced by the government, how can they attain, how is it possible for them and for their children and family. So they cannot decide anything. They are not at all reading or watching the news or newspapers and all. They are not well educated. So they are unaware about the benefits or the changes or the policies or the laws it is going on around the country. A few people only know about it. Okay, so they cannot decide anything. and they don't know what is good for them, what decision is good for them, how can they attain their rights, if their rights are denying or not, okay, what are their rights, how can they approach, how can they get it, where they have to go, these all the common people don't know. Now you understood. So my dear children, these are the 6 arguments against the democracy. ഡെമോക്രസിയുടെ ഡ്രോബാക്സ് അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആർഗ്യുമെൻറ്റ്സ് എഗെയിൻസ്റ്റ് ഡെമോക്രസി അംഗീകരിക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ പറയുന്ന 6 റീസൺസ്. Once again I will tell you what are the 6 arguments against democracy. First one, leaders keep changing in a democracy. This leads to instability. Second one, democracy is all about political competition and power play. There is no scope for morality. Then third one, so many people have to be consulted in a democracy. That leads to delay. And fourth one, elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. It leads to bad decision. Got it? And the fifth one, democracy leads to corruption. It is based on electoral competition. And the last one, ordinary people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. So these are the 6 arguments against democracy. Are you agreeing all these arguments, my dear children? Are you, what is your opinion about these all arguments are right or wrong, or are you agreeing? Yes, that is your choice. I cannot say anything, isn't it? You can think your own and take apt decision, because you know that you can express your own ideas, views and opinion. So from the above arguments, you understood that democracy is not a magical solution for all the problems. That we have to conclude, that we have to finalize, that we have to understand from this topic. Democracy is not a magical solution for all the problems. We can say that democracy is a better form of a government than other form of a government, for example dictatorship, kingship and hereditary and autonomy, etc. But it is, we can say that it is not a magical solution like Mudugad, what he, Gopinath Mudugad, what he is doing for to solve the problems, different problems he is solving through the magical treatment. Okay, but it is democracy is not a magical solution or a magical treatment for all the problems. It has not ended poverty in our country and all other parts of the world. Poverty, because of the democracy, we cannot solve the problem of poverty, but somewhat extent we can find out the solution for the problem. Okay, and so we can say that democracy is a form of government. So how can we conclude the democracy? Democracy is a form of government only ensures that ഒന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഉറപ്പ് നൽകാം, people take their own decisions. People take their own decisions. People can take their own decisions. Okay, but in other forms of government, what will happen? People have no right to take their own decisions. They have to obey. They have to obey all the decisions by the others or of the leaders. But in democracy, people can decide, or people can take decisions. It is this guaranteeing all their decisions will be good? We can say that all the decisions, their decisions are good? No, never. From the above all points, we can say that all the decisions are good? No. Okay, all these 6 arguments are not exactly correct, but somewhat extent these all are correct. Am I right? I can say such a way only. And we can say that it is not an ideal form of government. അങ്ങനെയും പറയാം, ഇതൊരു മാതൃക ഗവൺമെൻറ് form of government എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. It is not an ideal form of government, but we have to understand that from other forms of government, democracy is better. Democracy is the best form of government. Comparing to other forms of government, democracy is the best form of government. Am I right? Yes. So, we can conclude today's portions with, we are concluding the 6 arguments against democracy. While you are reading, you may felt something, is it correct or not? I have my own opinion, like the Jenny, Poimon and Yolanda, they expressed their views and ideas. You can also express your own views and ideas. And because we are living in a democratic form of government, am I right? So, my dear children, these are the 6 arguments against democracy. You have to read this area and understand the topic. Okay. If you have doubt, you can call me. Okay. We will meet again on next class. Thank you.